So today we have an absolutely awesome blog post from Jonathan Moffey outlining Tesla's $1 trillion entertainment hub opportunity. And he spends his introduction giving us some background on Elon. He's penetrated the rocket industry, he's made cars electric. So dominating the streaming and gaming markets should be easy, right? Let's dive in. The entertainment hub opportunity. Tesla's infotainment system is already state-of-the-art with an unprecedented 17-inch touchscreen that increases to 18.5 inches in the new Cybertruck. The display has standard maps and navigation, but also three unique features that hint at a greatly expanded future centered around entertainment. Theater mode already allows Tesla users to stream services such as Netflix, YouTube, and Hulu, and Elon has an opportunity to turn the Tesla display into one of the most watched TV screens in the world. Hear me out, he says. Full self-driving, or as Tesla calls it, FSD, is closer than folks think. Musk said Tesla could achieve level 4 or level 5 self-driving by the end of 2023. Of course, Elon is notorious for declaring things will happen years before they actually do, but that's his trick. Set unrealistic timelines that force his teams to work unbelievably hard. While they rarely hit these deadlines, they do manage to pull the future forward. At this pace, if Tesla focuses on cozying up to federal regulators and pushing towards level 5 self-driving, it's conceivable that drivers could sit back and watch Netflix with a tub of popcorn within the decade. Just imagine the opportunity. People are going to spend billions of hours streaming content while commuting in cars. Becoming the media hub for all of that time spent in the car would enable Tesla to take a significant share of that $416 billion streaming video market by 2030. The average car windshield is 10 to 12 square feet, and the Model X came out with a panoramic windshield that is more than double that size. Picture the immersive viewing experience Tesla could provide if the entire panoramic windshield turned into a TV screen. Watching a visually stunning movie with surround sound like Oppenheimer would be incredible. Check out this video of the making of the panoramic windshield to get an idea of what is possible, and I'll play that for you guys now.
So we're here in Los Angeles at our Glass Technology Center, where we make all the prototypes for all of our vehicles. And to give you a real-life example of the acoustic performance of our side drop, just roll up the window here. And to give you an idea of how comfortable the experience is in our vehicle. So across all of our vehicles at Tesla, we have a suite of autopilot cameras here in the front of the car looking forward through the windshield. So in a sense, our windshield is becoming a lens in front of the camera, and we focus on things with distortion as well as working hand in hand with our autopilot team on functionality, heating function, as well as diffraction of the images that are coming in. And I would say it's part of the way that we're leading the industry and setting the standard for autopilot functionality and the glass quality that's required for autopilot.
Tesla builds their cars to be capable of self-driving. That's their main focus, and that even boils down to the type of glass they use. And you guys heard how good the noise reduction was inside of the cabin in that video, and this video that you just watched is 2 years old, and since then Tesla has recently just refreshed their Model 3. They added even more sound deadening materials throughout the cabin and introduced more acoustic glass, and these contributed to about a 30% reduction in road noise in the new Model 3. The sound quality in a Tesla makes it awesome for watching movies or for playing games, and the gaming total addressable market is an even bigger opportunity, with the market expected to grow to over $500 billion by 2030. Tesla already offers more than 6,000 games, and Elon tweeted a preview of this when it launched at the end of 2022. The Tesla could become a gamer's utopia. No more feeling bad about neglecting your family while you game alone in your bedroom. Gamers can now use their daily commute to battle their friends in Call of Duty while crap talking via Bluetooth headset. And Tesla seems to already be working towards this future. A recent leak suggests that Tesla is already working on its own app store. It reads, "Breaking. Tesla has launched an official application programming interface for its vehicles, indicating that the company could be looking at debuting its own app store soon, per Teslarati." Powering the app store is key to owning distribution in both streaming and gaming, because Apple's app store processed a whopping $1 trillion in transactions. Apple dominates the app store on iOS, while Google rules the Android ecosystem with Google Play. Together, they generate over $30 billion per quarter with mobile games, making up 63% of revenue. One user even built a mock Tesla app store to envision what it would look like here.
A lot of people are wondering what it would be like if Tesla put an app store in their vehicles. So this is a concept I put together on my iPad, but I actually think it'd be really interesting. So let's imagine you're on a road trip and maybe you're stopped at a supercharger and your travel partner decides they'd like to get a bite to eat. Well, you can bring up a menu here, full screen, and each of you can just order what you want from it. And then the vehicle can not only take you to go pick it up, it can also be charged to the vehicle directly, just like supercharging, so you never have to get your wallet out. I think that opens the door to some really interesting possibilities. I think certain functionality would need to be enabled only when the vehicle is parked. So maybe you're watching a TED Talk while you're charging, and when you hit the road, maybe it transitions to an audio version automatically, so you can keep listening to what you were just watching. I think integrations are going to be really interesting. So, an app like Audible here, once we get that installed, it's the same Audible app that you know and love, but now that it's on your vehicle, it's integrated now with these audio sources. And that means that, it tucks away into this little bottom bar here. You've got access to these quick controls. I do think there's room for exploration around putting things on the map. So things like weather data or air quality. I also think there's room for exploration in widgets. So maybe you could install, at a glance information or quick controls of some sort. And then when you want to hide them away, maybe you just swipe them out of the way. So what do you think? Is this something you think Tesla is going to do? Do you think it'll be like this? And what kind of apps would you like to see?
I want to see all of the apps, but what I really want to see is almost like a preset preferences for the apps that I like when I get into a robotaxi. So I want to use Tesla's fleet-based app to order a robotaxi, and I want Tesla to know what entertainment I like, what apps I use, and I also want them to know my account information so that when the car picks me up, the apps I like are installed and my account information is already plugged in. I get in the car and I enjoy my commute with my entertainment. And then when I get out of the car, they log out of my profiles and maybe delete the apps if their next customer doesn't like those apps. As a society, if we go from getting picked up in an Uber and you're sitting in the back seat with a stranger and all you have to do is go on your phone to having a private ride where all of your favorite apps are on this big 18-inch screen, it's a huge advancement, and I think that the robotaxi experience has the potential to be incredible. But Jonathan also has some ideas of his own, and he says it's easy to see Tesla expanding its support of streaming TV and gaming apps since it already supports both. But the use cases for a Tesla App Store go far beyond entertainment. I had a great conversation with Roger Franklin, who sees Tesla's opportunity as a commerce juggernaut. If you watch the video above, you will see one example where you can see the Tesla display to order fast food like Burger King while on a road trip. But if you layer in AI, personalization, and FSD, the possibilities are endless. Imagine the Tesla being able to run errands for you while you're at work, like grocery shopping and picking medication up at the pharmacy. Sure, DoorDash is a form of this, but self-driving puts the power in the hands of the individual car owner. Assuming better battery life, you could have your car do all kinds of things for you to earn money and reduce chores while you focus on work and leisure. It is ideas like this that is the reason Tesla products will have infinite demand in the future. They are going to become assets that provide value to consumers beyond transportation. But now, Tesla is penetrating other markets in the near term, Jonathan writes. Android currently owns the largest percentage of the automotive operating system market at 35%, followed by Apple CarPlay. These smartphone integrations are a must-have for 86% of car buyers. Now that's a strong moat. Well, Tesla has never played nice with Google and Apple and does not support either operating system. This strongly suggests Tesla wants to own this ecosystem, and I think they can, but it won't be easy. Tesla first needs to build up its App Store developer ecosystem, since no App Store thrives without a healthy developer network. This can happen through offering developer incentives and lucrative revenue sharing programs. Secondly, Tesla doesn't sell enough cars to achieve significant scale for its entertainment hub. While Tesla owns 50% of the EV market, there are still only 1.7 million electronic vehicles in the US versus an estimated 285 million cars overall. However, due to climate change fears and government incentives, 40% of new car sales are projected to be electric by 2030. This means the ratio of EV to ICE vehicles on the road will drastically change over the decade in Tesla's favor. Here's the really big point. Lastly, besides building the car, Tesla has one major advantage Google and Apple will never be able to compete with. Tesla owns the all-important EV charging network. This is the key differentiator Tesla can leverage to force other car manufacturers to adopt their operating system. Earlier this year, Tesla announced it was opening its charging network to all rival manufacturers such as Ford and GM. But a requirement for tapping into Tesla's supercharger network is using Tesla's app and a standardized payment method. Well, owning the payment method is how Apple and Google dominate their respective app stores on mobile since they can collect a tax on every transaction. Tesla's gangster move then is to tie the adoption of its automotive operating system to a requirement for accessing its charging network. Tesla can force consumers who drive EVs from Ford and GM or other automakers and say, hey, you guys have to use our operating system in those vehicles if you want access to our EV charging network. And this is how Tesla penetrates the massive market share that Google and Apple have, because 86% of car buyers use an operating system from Google or Apple in their vehicles, and Tesla can leverage their gangster EV charging network to take that away. So even if Tesla executes flawlessly on the above, this all still hinges on FSD becoming a reality. And if you ask Elon, it's inevitable and it will be here within a decade. And I'm not going to pretend to have any idea when all of the different pieces will fall into place for FSD to be the norm. So I thought I would ask ChatGPT and Bard to see what they thought the timeline looked like. And both answered how they normally do, kind of just like politicians. But Bard said something interesting that led to yet another Elon advantage. Bard thought internet connectivity could be a limitation to ensuring quality streaming while in your car. So it's a good thing Elon has yet another product that solves this. Starlink, SpaceX's satellite constellation product, providing high-speed internet coverage in hard-to-reach remote areas. So Starlink is yet another product Elon could leverage to create a moat in the streaming and gaming space. So between commuting to work, running errands, and going on road trips, Americans spend more than an hour per day in their cars. And this is time that Elon and Tesla can capture, making Tesla a $1 trillion company again by taking a share of the lucrative streaming and gaming market. So get your popcorn ready for the car. And the other really exciting idea that was not mentioned in this blog post as a result of FSD and the whole robotaxi world that we're heading towards is advertising money. Because what happens when you pick up a consumer and they're watching your screen on the dashboard, I'm talking as if I'm Tesla, you can advertise to them because they're in this box and everything is projected towards the screen, and they're watching your apps through your app store. And maybe even Tesla makes some kind of Netflix streaming service where they produce movies and they play them on their screen, kind of like how Netflix produces movies and they play them on their network. You have people entertained and they're watching the screen while they're commuting, and you can show them advertising. And it's like there's nowhere for them to go. It's not like they can go to the kitchen or they can skip the ad. They kind of have to watch it. And you've got sound from all over them, like coming into them. So you can get some serious messages. And I think the CPM, which means cost per 1,000 views, is going to be really high, that advertisers are willing to pay for that space. And I think Tesla can make a lot of money due to the fact that they're transporting everybody in America around. I mean, you've got ads on bus stops, you've got ads everywhere. And now you've got people inside of your car, tinted windows, looking at one screen, and boom, you got an ad. You got a lot of money coming in. So I'm fascinated to see how much money Tesla can generate from an opportunity like that. And what other opportunities do you see coming from a robotaxi world? And if you guys, speaking of robotaxis, have not read my screenplay yet, a former Tesla employee manages to take control of a robotaxi, and Elon and his team are quick to respond. And it really touches on Elon's mission in my screenplay. And here are some reviews from people who have already become a member of the channel and read it. And if you are interested in reading it, I will put a link down in the description, and I really appreciate your support. And so I hope the rest of you have an absolutely great day.